everybody, welcome back to another session of the Hopry. My name is Mark Starr.
And I'm Tim Pratt.
And this week we're going to be looking at Boulevard Brewing Company. Literally, we are at Boulevard Brewing Company and we're going to be sharing 3 amazing beers with you this week. Today, which is Monday, we're going to be looking at their collaboration that they did with Orval called the Imperial Pilsner. It's the collaboration number 1. And then on Wednesday, we are going to look at the Bourbon Barrel Quad. And then on Friday, I've been sitting on one of their Imperial Stouts now for probably a good 2 years, I think, since it was bottled. I think it was back in 2008. So anyway, first up is the Imperial Pilsner, which they are calling their collaboration number 1. And Tim here just happens to, as I've mentioned on previous shows, he does tours down here. So why don't you tell me a little bit about the collaboration, maybe a little bit when Jean-Marie was here.
Sure. So collaboration number 1, it is, as you would think, the first collaboration that Boulevard's done. And also, happily enough, it is the first collaboration beer that any U.S. craft brewer has done with a Trappist brewery. So, you know, we were quite entertained by the idea that Jean-Marie was so willing to do a collaboration beer with Stephen Powell's, the brewmaster here at Boulevard, and basically
who's also from Belgium.
Yeah. And you know, there's your into all of the you know, the kind of the Belgian connection, I guess.
Yeah.
And you know, he said that, you know, if he wanted to, he could do more collaborations with the Trappists, but you know, in honor of Jean-Marie, he's not going to. He's going to let the other folks do that. So with this beer, the Imperial Pilsner, it's actually something that's been in Jean-Marie's repertoire for about 30 years. It's something that he originally brewed a long time ago in Belgium, and it's really a style of brewing and a style of beer that had kind of died off over the last, you know, 25, 30 years. It's something that catches a lot of people off guard. An Imperial Pilsner is not necessarily something that you know, really hear about, but it was something very, you know, close to Jean-Marie's heart, and when, you know, he was approached to do a collaboration, why not do something like this? And you know, to have Jean-Marie in the building here and to have him running around, it really was like, you know, having you know, one of brewing's own royalty in the building. Really super nice guy. I know we, you know, briefly talked about him on the show before, but you know, really was, you could just tell he had a passion about what he was doing, and really, I think they came up with a you know, a pretty knockout Pilsner, if you really want to look at them. You know,
speaking of looking at it, yeah, I mean, it looks like champagne. You know, those bubbles are just screaming to the top.
Yeah.
You know,
and it's got that nice crisp, you know, Pilsner type color, which you would expect. But really, that's about where all of your normal Pilsner characteristics stop, and something completely new and different takes off.
Yeah. Let's take a smell and see what's going on.
Beat you to it.
Actually, I had smelled it a little bit earlier while you were talking.
So you beat me to it.
I beat you to it. Mark Starr 1, Tim Pratt 0.
Tim Pratt does not like this.
So yeah, you know, it's really got that Pilsner smell. You know, I mean, people talk a lot about, you know, the big 3, the BMCs, and you know, and that's kind of what we all grew up drinking, was Bud Light and, you know, those sorts of things. I'm in no way comparing this to Bud Light. No. What I'm saying is that in terms of, you know, some of the other beers that we drink, like the Imperial Stouts, the big IPAs, this one really is kind of closer to, well, a Pilsner. It's an Imperial Pilsner, but you know, one of the things that I love about Stephen the most, and I'm not afraid to say it, is he is the master of saisons. And even though this is a Pilsner, and I've had it before, I can tell that he's a master of the gold beers, and this is no different.
This is kind of one of those perfect example beers that you take 4 ingredients and turn them into about as simple of perfection as you can.
Yeah.
You know, one of the biggest problems with brewing an Imperial Pilsner is Pilsner as a style does not hide imperfections as well as a darker beer will. So if there was something that went wrong in this beer, it was going to be wrong throughout the entire beer, and there's nothing you can do about it. So you know, it was a very complex brewing process that they went through to get to this, and to make sure that, you know, it was as clean and crisp and you know, essentially flawless as it came out.
Yeah. So I agree with all that, and let's take a drink, man.
Please, eat first.
Start the week.
So, just before we actually filmed, Mark and I were talking about whether or not it was cool enough to drink. Both of us had said probably not. It's a little bit warmer than I guess we'd like to serve it, but I got to tell you, it really smooths it out really nice. Puts a different spin on it than when you have it really cold. When it's cold, the first thing that's really apparent to me is kind of a lemon peel.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like here, it's still very much there, but it's a tad subdued, but very still very present. You've got that Pilsner bite that's in there. You know, that's familiar. That might be familiar with other Pilsners, but really, beyond that, it's just there's a lemony quality that really just goes through the whole thing.
It's really approaching like a triple territory for me. You know what I mean? Now Saison will have a lot more funk, because it's got kind of some of those different styles of yeast. But to me, this is a more subtle version of a triple, if you ask me. I really love the mouthfeel. I do love how refreshing it is, but at the same time, it's got enough body and enough mouthfeel there to really let you know that you're drinking something that was made with a lot of care. And I mean, one thing too that I've always found really great about this beer is that you talk about food pairings. I think you could probably pair this with just about anything. Like it would go with pizza, it would go great with burgers, you could have tacos and it would be great. I mean, it's kind of a jack of all trades.
When you said food pairing, the first thing that came to my mind was like a good cheese plate.
Yeah,
this would be really good for so a good soft fresh milk, either goat or cow's milk cheese, doesn't matter. It would be just it's pretty much bananas with that. But I got to be honest, this is all Starr's hops that they've used in this, and that noble hop character really comes through. It doesn't have that overpowering hop that a lot of the IPAs would have, and really it's subdued to the point that it's about right. But if you are familiar with the Saaz or the European, especially the German noble hops, they've just got a very distinctive aroma and quality to them, and this one definitely carries that through. And really, they've done a nice job. And I remember when this was being brewed here at the brewery, the one thing that everyone was worried about was how complex the brewing process was and how tricky it is to brew a Pilsner. The one thing I will give Bud Miller Coors credit for is to do what they do on the size and scale of what they do and have that much consistency across the board is difficult, because they're brewing in regional breweries and they're matching up, I think, 12 to 13 different breweries every day. Well, you can't mess something up along the way. And that was the big concern with this one, is that if something goes wrong, you'll know it. Well, I guess nothing went wrong.
Nothing went wrong.
No.
So. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this session. Again, we're going to be coming back on Wednesday and we'll be taking a look at their Goliath Bourbon Barrel Quad, aka the BBQ. And actually, I'm just going to tell you right now, we're going to film them all today. So when I say Wednesday, I mean today and Wednesday.
So pardon us for having the same shirts on all week.
Exactly.
We don't have hats to put on this time either.
No, we don't. But so anyway, yeah, thanks for the info. Hope you guys enjoyed this session, and come back on Wednesday for the BBQ. All right, guys. Well, my name is Mark Starr.
I'm Tim Pratt.
And we'll see you later.
Cheers.